Now let us meet tonight's judges.
The game looks so-and-so beat them by so much, but, you know, I think that's why we play the games on Friday night. You can't take paper stats for granted.
You better believe it. We went and watched them play Gibbs, the team that beat them 61-18. The score at halftime was 24-18. One of the big plays in the game, I can't remember the details, but there was 3 fumbles on one play, and Gibbs ended up picking the ball up and running in for a touchdown. And it just kind of let the air out of their sails. They played very good football against Gibbs for a half, and then kind of went downhill from there. They beat a team from West Virginia, I think it's called Thomas Walker, a couple weeks ago. But, you know, in all honesty, you know, they're holding on to with it. You know, I'm not sure they're not real pleased with the way things are going. But we still have to line up and play. There's no question about that. And our kids have no reason to be arrogant, cocky, or overconfident about anything.
Well, this has been sort of a disconcerting week for you. I've heard some things about injuries and other things. Eric Davis, for instance, had an accident at home and is out for a few weeks with like an MCL injury.
Right. Actually, it was an accident at church, and he had the MRI today. And according to him, the doctor that read the MRI today said it was negative. There's no tears. It was a deep bruise. He may be able to go back Friday night. Jordan Jeffers had some kind of an infection this week where his lymph nodes really swelled up huge. And Scott County Hospital preliminarily was afraid that he had some kind of mononucleus infection, but the infection turned out to be something other than mononucleosis, so he's going to be playing tonight, and that was a dodge the bullet there.
But it did affect your game planning, your practice.
You know what? It might have been a good thing, Rick, because we ran Derek a quarterback all week, and we got Cody Frog ready at the backup quarterback. You know, Jordan knows the offense. He's been running it for 2 solid years now. So that might have been a good thing. In case we need Derek, at least he's had some work behind the center, and we're ready. He's ready to go.
And that was some of our comments with Highlander head coach Gary Sexton moments ago. He went on to say that the 2 things that the Highlanders hope to accomplish in tonight's ball game is in the red zone, especially the Highlander red zone from 30 yards on in, getting points, and also to make tackles tonight against Claiborne County. He looks for Claiborne County to really line up in like a Delaware wing tee, a single wing sometimes, try to run the ball at you, and he feels that Claiborne County does have a good passing attack. We're going to take our final break during our Highlander pregame. When we come back after these messages, we'll get you set for tonight's matchup as your Scott Highlanders play host to the Claiborne High School Bulldogs.
Your favorite food, cooked to order just the way you like it, when you want it. At Huddle House, you can have any meal, anytime, 24 hours a day. From big house platters, big meals for big appetites, to Lighthouse grilled chicken and chef salads, to delicious signature chicken tender sandwiches. Huddle House in Oneida is a place where hungry folks gather to enjoy good food, good friends, great hospitality. Before or after the game, huddle up at Huddle House in Oneida. Through the years, Scott County and First Trust and Savings Bank have seen many changes. Back in 1923, when First Trust was incorporated, times were different, life a lot slower. Today, First Trust has grown to keep up with the pace of life, expanding its Municipal Drive location to better serve its customers, including adding more drive-through lanes for faster service. Banking hours to fit your lifestyle. Full-service banking at Walmart Supercenters in Jacksboro and Oneida. Loans, commercial and residential. 24-hour banking online.
Come to First Trust. You'll like banking with us.
A look at HL side of the table right here. You had a chance this evening to visit with the coaches, and let me say they expressed their thanks for you bringing them the fried apple pies tonight. But you had a chance to visit with the coaches, and let's get some of their thoughts this evening.
We don't see any of them fall down tonight after the pies, but anyway, everybody seemed to be in a good upbeat mood tonight. They're looking as this game is a good test for the Highlanders, Rick. Some of the things Coach Sexton mentioned earlier, the injuries there. One thing, I believe if he mentioned Josh Darter, he'd probably playing defensive tackle in Eric Davis's place. Offensively for the Highlanders, we're basically going to see as they're going to be receiving the kickoff, looks like. Pretty much the same offensive scheme we saw. Defense is going to be pretty much the same, the 40 and the 50, some 44 stack, I guess. Another thing that they keep mentioning was all the missed tackles of last week. I think we'll see some improvements there. What we're going to look for from Claiborne County is a 40 and a 60 with a 7-diamond defense from times. As Coach Sexton also mentioned, the offense we'll see from Claiborne County is going to be a pro set, similar to the one we run. They'll go off tackle a lot. They'll run a lot of inside traps, which the Highlanders did good defending last week at times. They gave up some yardage on it. We're going to see the Delaware wing tee, and we may see a few plays of just a good old-timey single wing, which will be confusing to all of us. But special teams, they don't see anything spectacular about Claiborne County. I think these two teams are probably going to match up pretty close tonight. I think our Highlanders' better physical fitness is going to show off. This is a really humid, sticky night. Probably be the most physically demanding as far as the conditions outdoors tonight of any of the three games so far.
Thanks, Sage. The Highlander coaching staff, your head coach is Jerry Sexton. Bill Hall is the offensive coordinator. Keith Shannon is the defensive coordinator. Rounding out the coaching staff, Tony Zachary, Jason Terry, Vince Owens, Jim Birchfield, and Doug Lloyd. The Highlanders tonight dressed red on red. Their silver helmets, the red jerseys trimmed in red, gray with the gray numerals, and the red pants. The Highlanders will be receiving in the first period, first quarter of play. The Highlanders will be moving from right to left as you look at your radio dial, and you're listening to Highlander football tonight on WBNT FM 105.5. And don't forget our video replay on Oneida Cable and Video. Channel 4 seen locally in Scott County on the Comcast system. The ball is going to go into the end zone. Wesley Smith was back deep, and it will be a touchback. The Highlanders will be starting at their own 20-yard line, the first offensive possession of the game. Let's set the Highlander squad for you. The center is number 66, Joe Lay. The guards getting a start tonight, the senior, 55, Brandon Allen. Junior, number 56, Matt Keaton. The tackles are 75, Scott Vaden, one of tonight's captains. Number 71 is Adam Burge. The tight end is number 2, Justin Boshears. The receivers, Derek Boshears and Cody Frog. The running backs, Robert Potter and Tim Hembry. And the quarterback is number 12, Jordan Jeffers, getting the start. After missing some practice time this week, the Highlanders have receivers left and right. They have a slot receiver on the left side. They fake it to Henry. This is Jeffers rolling to the right side. Pressure from behind. The pass as the receiver, I think, fell down, was intended probably for Boshears, the tight end, who lined up on the right and was just doing a little out pattern. Couldn't tell if the ball slipped out of Jeffers' hand or if Boshears slipped down trying to make his cut. I would think it's probably the latter. It will be 2nd and 10 Highlanders starting this possession from their own 20-yard line, and we're just underway at Highlander Field. The play shuttle from the sidelines. It's called up here in the press box by Coach Hall to Coach Terry on the sideline, and Coach Terry gets the play in, usually shuttles it with his wide receivers. They split the backs in the backfield with a wing back on the right side. They give it to Hembry, and he's going to be hit and taken down with a loss of about 1. It's good penetration by the front right side of the Claiborne High School squad, the Claiborne Bulldogs, and I'll probably say Claiborne County a bunch, but they have changed to Claiborne High School. 3rd down, 11 to go for the Highlanders.
A lot of activity on the defensive alignment that Claiborne High School is in, Rick. They're flopping their defensive ends. They're changing their strong side, weak side linebackers. They're setting in a 4-3 now.
Boshears left. Hembry one back in the backfield. 2 receivers out on the right side for the Highlanders. 4-man front, Claiborne County. The ball is bobbled on the snap. Jordan goes down, puts his knee down. It'll be a loss of a little bit, but more importantly, it will be 4th down and punting time for the Highlanders. So the first offensive possession loses 2 yards total, bringing up 4th and 12, and the Highlanders, we think, probably will punt, and that is probably not the start that we expected the Highlanders to get off to on this first possession.
No, I think everybody's looking for them to kind of break out tonight right off the bat. One thing we got to say, when you mention a push from the front of Claiborne's high team, they got some good-sized fellas in there. 2
returners deep as Robert Potter drops the punt for the Highlanders. Nice punt, gets a good leg. Signal for a fair catch and called in Highlander territory at the Highlander 48-yard line by Michael North. Claiborne County with the excellent field position starting on the Highlander side of the 50.
It will be 1st and 10 Bulldogs at the Highlander 48.
Already the Highlander defense faced with a test.
Be a great time for the Highlander defense, if you want to say, to break out a little bit. A couple of big monster type hits, maybe cause a fumble, some sort of turnover anyway.
The quarterback for Claiborne High School is number 10, Matt Gibson. He has 2 backs lined up behind him. One is number 3, Jason Seals, and number 40 is Eric Hope. Receivers left and right. They'll give it on a little trap play moving to the left side. That was to Jeff Poore, Poore across the line of scrimmage, picks up about a half a yard. It will be 2nd and a long 9 now coming for Claiborne County. Up front, Brenton Noah is the center, John Burris and Jake Williams the guards, Brody Wells and Gary Worley the tackles. The ends are Brett Stone and Patrick Walters as the tight end. Holt, Seals, and Poor in the backfield along with quarterback Gibson. This time out, a traditional pro set for Claiborne. The tight end lined up on the left side, quarterback Gibson. Rose to the right side, looking for some passing room. Jimmy Henry on the chase. The left-hander throws the ball into the Highlander sideline. It goes incomplete. I did not realize, and maybe they told you he was left-handed, but
I saw during the warm-ups, Rick, they had one right-handed quarterback and one left-handed quarterback, and I remember when I saw this young man throw, I thought he must be the backup quarterback because he didn't look sharp in warm-ups.
No score. We're early in the first quarter of play. 9 minutes, 42 seconds remaining. And it will be Claiborne County third and a long 9 to go in Highlander territory at the Highlander 48-yard line. The Highlanders will come up and play cover corners, and they've got their safeties. Boshears Rose to the left side. They give a little trap play inside. Nice tackle inside by the Highlanders. Number 52 on the stop. That's Chris Chambers wrapping up the carrier around the ankles. A gain of 2. It will be 4th and about 7 to go for Claiborne. As we see bodies being exchanged, we would assume that's their punt team. And for the Highlanders, Derek Boshears will drop inside his 20-yard line, waiting on the anticipated punt. The snap, the punt's away, blocked. Hembry gets in there and blocks the punt. It's going to roll in. The Highlanders are going to recover it at their own 46-yard line. Tim Hembry went up and over the up back, blocking in front of the punter. And just good individual effort, and the Highlanders on the block punt are going to have great field position.
That was a real good exchange of punts right there. Basically, the ball's pretty much where it was at the snap.
At the Highlander 46-yard line. 1st and 10 Highlanders. Boshears splits right. Coming back to the left side is Cody Frog. He's number 5. Slot receiver lined up inside of him is number 4, Robert Potter, with one back. That would be pump blocker Tim Hembry. Jeffers rolls left. Looking upfield, tosses a pass to Cody. Has the reception at the 30, at the 25, spun at the 20. Broke free, and Cody Frog says, touchdown, Highlanders. It covers 54 yards, and the Highlanders are on the board.
Good pass pattern. The 2 wide receivers out here, Rick. The outer one moved, cut.
Cody Frog and Potter.
Yeah, Potter. Anyway, the post and Potter turned on a little out, and he drew all attention. A little fake by Jordan Jeffers, and that left Cody wide open and had to wait on the football and made a great move to get away from a tackle as the Highlanders are lining it up, spotting the tee.
Derek Boshears will hold. Jordan Jeffers will attempt the point after kick. The kick up, the kick down the middle, it's good. With 8:55 remaining in the first quarter, your Highlanders lead 7-0. We'll take a break and be back with more Highlander action after this message.
Since opening their doors back in 1966, Danny's Drug's first priority has been their customers' well-being, taking the time to advise customers on the proper use of prescription and over-the-counter medications, offering convenient drive-through prescription services to keep you out of the weather, especially when you're feeling under the weather. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. till 1. Reputable, friendly, and courteous service for over 32 years. Danny's Drugs, Main Street, Oneida.
Is this what it felt like in your house this past winter? If so, there's a way you can stop feeding the meter and start saving money. It's TVA's Energy Right program, full of great ways to make your home more energy efficient and your bills more affordable all year long. So ask your local electric company for the free do-it-yourself Energy Right home evaluation. Stop feeding the meter and start saving money every month.
Plateau Electric Cooperative, 569-8591.
As we come back to live action, we were talking about a couple of things. First of all, Tim Hembry on the block punt. The last thing we were talking about, you remember Cody Frog had 2 defensive pass interceptions last week. And one thing Coach Sexton told me, he said, you know, Derek caught all of our pass receptions last week. He says our intention is to throw the ball around and challenge our other receivers. With Cody Frog waited on the ball, as you said, concentrated, wrapped it in, picked up a few yards before the initial contact, spun out of a tackle and took it the rest of the way. Highlanders lead by 7, and Jeffers will line drive the ball, take them on up back at the 27. Looking for running room, the Highlanders will converge, and Claiborne County at their own 35-yard line will have it 1st and 10.
Advances to the 35-yard line.
You know, on the kick, Jordan set the ball down on the left hash, and, you know, I don't remember before if they kicked from one hash or the other. I thought they teed it up in the center.
Typically, they tee it up in the center.
He was wanting an up man to handle the football.
Well, Jordan has been weak this week.
Yeah.
He hadn't practiced. He's been taking antibiotics, so I think they just want to squib it and let the Highlander coverage get down there. 1st and 10, Claiborne, man in motion. They give it to number 3, and making the tackle, Wesley Smith. Throws him for a 5-yard loss. On the carry, that was Jason Seals.
On the carry.
Just running a little wing back handoff, moving from right to left. This would be, when they go in this formation, either the wing T or the Delaware wing T. Look for the double handoffs inside. Look for the misdirection. It's an offense that can give you all kinds of trouble if you're not very aware of where the ball's at.
It will be 2nd down.
Clock continues to run. 2nd and about 13 to go for Claiborne. They're again in this wing T formation with a wing back on the right side. 2 backs behind quarterback Gibson. They give it to the fullback on a dive play. Boom, wrapped up. Somebody around the ankles and over the top.
52
number
made that
52.
big stick.
That's
Big
Chris
stick.
Chambers.
Off the bottom, 52.
52 was Chambers, and
Okay, it was another 50 number made the big hit, Rick, and I thought that was 52 or 57 down there.
52, Chris Chambers. And it will be
no.
and
Unless Cody Frog was coming in from the strong safety to help over the top. They were the only ones with 5s on their jersey. 3rd down, 11 to go for Claiborne County. Receivers left and right, dropping the pass into the middle, batted down. Wesley Smith dropping in coverage, knocks it down with his right hand, and it will bring up 4th, and apparently again a punting situation with 7:31 remaining in the 1st quarter for Claiborne County. Nice drop by Smith from the backer position.
Interesting to see if Claiborne will adjust their punt formation slightly.
Well, they put 3 guys back.
Yes,
so they're going to go max protect on the punter. The snap, here comes Tim again. Can't get there. Legs it away. It's going to bound away from Derek. Decides to pick it up at his 24. Looks
Beat
for
that man.
Has a wall
Get that
across
block.
the field. Can the rest of the blockers get there and just stringing it out across the field? Derek Boshiers with some extra effort near the sideline. Takes it across the 30 to the 33-yard line of the Highlanders, and they'll have it 1st and 10 again.
to the 33-yard line where your Highlanders.
When he picked that ball up on the far side and started coming back this way across the field, he sure set up 2 dandy blocks of those boys down there.
Well, when he started to pick it up, it was deja vu from last week, and that's what was running through my mind as Derek fumbled a punt trying to pick it up on a bounce last week. Nevertheless, the Highlanders lead by 7 tonight, 7-0 over the Claiborne Bulldogs. 7:12 to go. It's 1st and 10 Highlanders. And we'll send 2 receivers out on the right side, 1 to the left short side of the field. This is Jeffers keeping himself. Boshiers trying to block out in front. Jeffers with a jig move has the sideline, knocked out of bounds. He'll pick up a 1st down and about 14 yards, maybe 15 on the carry as he is driven out of bounds at the Highlander 49-yard line. 1st down, Highlanders. Boshiers with a good block as a receiver out in front. Jordan defeated 1 man on the juke move, and Boshiers held the block, and that picked up another 5 yards for him.
Yeah, Jordan got away from that defensive end right at the line of scrimmage.
2 receivers left. That's the short side of the field in front of the Highlander bench. 2 running backs in the backfield. They give it to Hembry off right side, takes the ball ahead, and I'm going to give him about 5 on the carry, as Tim is just an exceptional north-south runner.
Stopped by Jeff Poor after a gain of 5. It will be 2nd down and 5.
And you know the Highlanders in this game so far sort of spread their offense across the field, hitting on the corners. That's going to open it up big time up the center for Big Tim.
2nd and 5, Highlanders. Boshiers and Brandon West. To the left side again, that's the short side into the Highlander sideline. The tight end lines up on the right side. They split the backs in the backfield. That's Potter and now Wesley Smith. Jordan gives it, no fakes to Wesley, keeps himself, has a corner, has 5 yards, loses a defender, now drugged down from behind. Jordan running a little option play.
Brought down by number 11, Jeff Poor.
Has the 1st down plus 2 or 3 yards. And the Highlanders moving into Claiborne County territory to the Bulldog 30, or just inside that Bulldog 38-yard line. After this play, again, we'll set the Highlander lineman up front for you. Justin Boshears is the tight end. He moves over on the right side. One back in the backfield now. That would be Smith, as the Highlanders have a trip formation, 2 right, 1 receiver to the left. Little slant in pattern. Boshears has a reception. Eludes the defender at the 30, at the 20, at the 15. Derek pull down as he struggles to get to the 4-yard line. Another first down, and a great move by Boshears, who caught the pass, reverse spun toward the sideline, which eluded the defender, and he had running room up the sideline.
That was good throw and catch football right there, Rick. And you know, Claiborne County had their safeties and corners backed off deep. They were looking for the throw. Highlander still had some great execution.
The ball spotted on the 5-yard line, so it's first and goal, Highlanders from the 5. Again, 2 receivers, West and Boshears to the short left side. Jeffers on a little option play, kept it himself, steps inside down to maybe the 3-yard line, and it will be now 2nd and about 3 to go for the Highlanders. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it near the 3.
Be a gain of 1. It will be.
The play from the sideline will be brought in by Cody Frog. Again for the Highlanders, offensive coordinator Bill Hall calls the plays in the press box. Down on the field of Coach Jason Terry. Coach Terry gets the play and the personnel on the field. DB Derek Boshears splits to the wide right side. Coming back to the left side is Cody Frog. 6-man front employed, actually an 8-man front employed by Claiborne this time. They fake it to Smith. They give it to Robert Potter, and he walks into the end zone on the right side.
What a hole
Robert
up there.
Has a touchdown. The Highlanders go up by 13 points, waiting on the point after kick.
That was just a great job of the whole right side of the Highlander offensive front there, Rick. They blew just an incredibly large hole there. Robert didn't have any trouble getting there. I believe he had enough steam, though, he could have bulldozed. But anyway, great job up there. They've got the tee spotted as the kick is about to happen.
Fumble picked up. Boshears places it, and Jordan just gets it up and over the upright. The miscue is good, and sometimes everything goes right for you. The kick by Jordan Jeffers, and the Highlanders now lead 14-0 over the Claiborne Bulldogs. 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the first period, and we'll be back with more football after this break.
Today's hectic schedules make it difficult to stay in touch with your family, and sometimes getting in touch is really important. But with Verizon Wireless, it's getting easier to connect with the people that matter most, no matter where they are. With a number of convenient options, from multiple phones to text messaging, now it's easier to keep the entire family on the same page. Cellular Communications, your authorized Verizon retailer, has a plan for just about everyone, covering more towns, cities, and places, connecting more people than any other wireless service provider in the nation. Verizon Wireless, Cellular Communications, Oneida Plaza.
Domino's Pizza is making the freshest and best tasting pizza in town. Domino's Pizza is making every order hot and fresh, putting it in their exclusive Heatwave hot bag and delivering it right to your door. Call your order in today. Dial 569-2000. Pizza, hot wings, breadsticks, cheesy bread, salads, and more. Order now, come in and get it, or have it delivered to your door. Delivery is free. Domino's Pizza. Call in your order now. 569-2000.
The Highlanders that started at their own 33-yard line culminates in a 3-yard Robert Potter touchdown run. Jordan Jeffers will kick off. This time, gets it over the top of the up back, picked up by one of the deep backs. The Highlanders get down there and ball. They're going to wrap him up on the carry for Claiborne County. That's Jeff Ford. And that was just an excellent job of kicking by Jordan to get it between the 2 returners, the front guy and in front of the deep returner.
That was one of those no-man land spots, Rick. The ball landed there, and it went just barely cleared the head of one of the up receivers. He didn't want to go back and get it, and the deep receiver didn't really want to come back. The ball sat there, and I saw it spin 3 times.
With the Highlander job of tackling on the kickoff, Claiborne starts from their own 14-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll shift into a single wing. Look for a direct snap. It goes to a tailback on the left side. cuts back, has some running room, broke the Highlander
Hit.
tackle, the ball goes
Ball.
on the ground, and Tim Hembry has the fumble. Do they rule it as a fumble? Derek Boshears made the tackle. Yes, they do. Derek Boshears knocked it loose, jarring the tackle away from Jeff Poore, I believe, and Tim Hembry is there for the recovery.
It will be first down and 10 to go for your Highlanders from the Claiborne 18-yard line.
The Highlanders have it. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of the Bulldogs. The play already from the sideline. Jordan Jeffers, the quarterback, has Tim Hembry as the lone running back behind him. Robert Potter, Cody Frog split to the left short side. Derek Boshears one-on-one on the top side. They fake it, looking into the middle. Balls batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looking for a little skinny post pattern to the tight end, Justin Boshears. The ball was batted at the line of scrimmage. And Jordan really, he knew it was there. Boshears behind the defender was going to lob it, just take his time and lob it back there. Batted at the line. 2nd down, 2nd and 10 Highlanders, 4 minutes, 17 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and your Highlanders with a 2-touchdown, 14-0 lead over the Claiborne High Bulldogs. Boshears to the left side. Wesley Smith is a wing back, or a slot inside of him on the left, and split backs in the backfield. That's Fred Henry and Tim Hembry. They fake it, little reverse around to the wing back. It went to Smith, broke one tackle, gets down to about the 15, maybe the 14-yard line, where it takes 3 or 4 Claiborne defenders to bulldog but Wesley down. Just inside the 15, so it's 3rd and about 6 to go for the Highlanders. They can get a first down by getting the ball to about the 8-yard line of the Bulldogs. Clock runs with 3:45 remaining in the first quarter.
For your Highlanders.
Smith out of the lineup this time, and that leaves Hembry as the lone back in the backfield behind Jordan Jeffers. The tight end, Justin Boshears, is on the right side along with 2 wideouts and 1. That's Boshears back to the left. Jeffers with the cadence, drops, looks to pass, a little slant in through the hands of Fred Henry, and it's hard to say as Fred was there and Cody Frog was behind him in the same line. And I couldn't tell you whom the pass was intended for. It falls incomplete. It will be 4th and 6 to go for the Highlanders. And I suspect that the Highlanders go for it on 4th down. The field goal would be about 32 yards, something like that. At some point in time, I think we need to try a field goal this year, but I do enjoy the strategy of going for it on 4th down. Brandon West splits to the right side, coming back to the left side. DB Derek Boshears. Robert Potter's the wing H-back on the left side, and somebody asked for a timeout. Who taketh the timeout? Claiborne County, or Claiborne High School, with a timeout on the field. 3 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Your Highlanders 14, the Claiborne Bulldogs 0. We'll be back after this timeout for each team.
At Roark's Pharmacy, our people in our service set us apart. Unlike discount stores that sell a little of everything, Roark's Pharmacy specializes in taking care of you with prescription and non-prescription medicines, natural alternatives, products, and services.
Remember to educate before you medicate. Remember the 3 R's: risk, respect, and responsibility. Take responsibility. Ask questions if you need more information. And remember the 4th R, Roark's Pharmacy.
At Markham's, we don't want to keep you up half the night worrying about how much you paid for that mattress set you're sleeping on, which is why we have twin sets starting at a low $189.95. Not to mention bedroom sets at just $599.95, and 2-piece living room sets for $699.95. Want a rocker recliner? We've got them. Or how about a solid oak curio cabinet, $299.95? And the bargains don't stop there. We also carry dinette sets, big screen TVs, and a complete line of GE, Maytag, and Gibson appliances. Markham's Furniture, 211 Depot Street in Oneida.
Claiborne decides to take the timeout as the Highlanders are going for it on 4th. It's 4th and 6 for the Highlanders with the ball just inside the Claiborne 15-yard line. The Highlanders need to get the ball to the 8-yard line of the Claiborne Bulldogs. A lot of times during timeout you see strategies change, but not for Coach Gary Sexton and his coaching staff. They just changed the play a little bit as Brandon West and Derek Boshears are both on the left side of the formation. This will be Jeffers rolling to pass. Cuts in. He's going to be hit, wrapped up back to the 19-yard line, and Claiborne County will hold the Highlanders, as that was a slow developing play in the Claiborne defense all over Jeffers before he had much of a chance to roll left and look to the end zone.
It will be 1st and 10 for Claiborne.
That'd be one of those times when you hate to miss the opportunity when you're that close to the goal, not to get in, get you 6 points, Rick. But one thing about it, as far as field position, they still got Claiborne backed up deep. Let your defense see if they can't jar that ball loose one more time.
Bulldogs begin this possession from their 19-yard line. 1st and 10. Receivers left and right, wing back right. Dropping, this is Gibson, and boom, pressure from the left side. The ball is free, and Henry has the recovery. But Wesley Smith absolutely ran over Matt Gibson like a coal truck running over a Volkswagen. He lowered the boom on Gibson, and Gibson finally up now. And Henry with the recovery, and boom, that was vicious with a V, H.
It was a mean, nasty hit. Kind of you like to see if you're rooting for the Highlanders like I am, it's kind of you like to see those guys do, and do it with regularity.
The Highlanders on the recovery by Tim. That's his second fumble recovery, I believe, of the game start. 1st and 10 at the Claiborne 11-yard line. 2 backs, that's Henry and Potter in the backfield. They'll give it to Henry. Bounces outside, inside the 10. The 5, headed for the end zone. Tim Henry says, give me 6. Tim Henry on the TD run. The Highlanders now up by a 20-0 margin.
3 minutes remaining in this still the first quarter as the Highlanders get her lined up, spot the tee one more time.
Jordan Jeffers will again be kicking out of the hole of Derek Boshears. Got it. The kick up, and it's good. A 21-0 score now for the Highlanders with 3:01 remaining in the first quarter. We'll take this break. When we come back, the ensuing Highlander kickoff.
Only a healthy pet is a happy companion. Assuring your pet's daily well-being requires regular care and close attention to any hint of illness. Highland Veterinary Hospital is a full-service facility providing care for all animals, large and small. Dr. Elizabeth K. Burris and her caring staff take the time to make you and your pets more comfortable. In-house x-ray and lab equipment provide quicker diagnoses. In addition to healthcare services, grooming appointments are available. Highland Veterinary Hospital, across from First National Bank, Oneida.
Edgewood Homes of Oneida has East Tennessee's largest selection of homes like Mansion Homes, Champion, Homes of Legend, Giles, Chandelure, Clayton, and Fleetwood Homes, offering 30-year financing with rates as low as 5.75%. Land home packages and installing your septic, electric, water, and driveway, even your porches and decks. Edgewood Homes of Oneida is proud to announce that we've received the prestigious Customer Satisfaction Award, so you know you'll get great customer service. Come by today and let one of our sales associates show you your new home, or call us at 569-9595. At Edgewood Homes, we make it easy for you.
The Highlanders lead 21-0. You remember about 3 weeks ago, it sort of looked like this in the Jellicoe game. I have a feeling tonight that even though the score may pile up, that the coaching staff are not going to call the Dogs off tonight. The Highlander first unit needs to play. They need to play a lot tonight to get ready for next week's game. The kick by The kick by Jeffers again, dropping in that dead spot at the 20-yard line, picked up finally by the up back, and here come the Highlanders to surround him, and they pull him down at about the 22-yard line. That was Jeff Poor, and he picked up about 3 on the carry. Claiborne starting, let's check the spot. I think it's going to be the 23-yard line. Yeah.
At the 23-yard line, it will be 1st down and 10.
For Claiborne County. This is their 5th possession. Their possessions have gone blocked punt. They did punt on the 2nd possession. They have fumbled on their last 2 possessions. And now the Highlander defense, which has been vicious, vicious here in the first quarter, back on the field again. It looks like Gibson is still in at quarterback. He has 2 backs behind him and a receiver out on the left side. They give that little wing back around to Jason Seals. Seals picks up, we'll say 1 yard. It will be 2nd and 9 upcoming for the Bulldogs.
That's one of the signs, I think, of a well-disciplined defense, Rick, when you see the little inside reverse develop like that. If the if say the right side players, if they see the first move and they break out of their spot they're supposed to be watching for, you know, that play can go a long way. They stay at home and they run right into their arms like we just saw.
Receivers left and right. Two backs tied in on the right side. Gibson gives it on. There comes Henry slicing down and really cracking on the ball carry. I believe that was poor on the carry. And Henry gets inside, coming from the left defensive end position very quickly. Let's tell you, Tim Henry and Wesley Smith, I believe, are the ends. I may want to set that. Let's start with the corners here, and maybe I'll wait to the next position. The corners are Jordan Jeffers on the left side, Brandon West on the right side. The safeties are Derek Boshears and Cody Frog. The linebackers would be Seth Yancey, Wesley Smith, and who else in there? Chambers maybe. Coming with running room, a little trap and pulling 2 or 3 bodies ahead. That's the big running back, Eric Hope. Hope will get the ball near the first down marker. Let's wait on the officials to get there. It will be 4th down. It's going to be 3rd and 1. That big running back, we were a little afraid of that. The Highlander coaching staff was a little afraid of just giving the ball to him time after time.
If you saw the, I think, score against Gibbs, it looked like that was a one-sided game, Rick, but I think at halftime they were within like 4 or 5
Here's
points.
a big gamble as Claiborne going for it on 4th and a long one to go. Somebody moved Gibson on the quarterback sneak, and it just depends upon the penetration, how he got underneath the Highlander line. And we said it was a long 1 yard to go. We got away. It looks like the chain gang is moving, so it will be 1st down. Claiborne County, their first down of the game.
Gibson on the carry. Top of the Highlander defensive line after picking up enough yardage.
And that is the first down for Claiborne County, as there's about a half a minute to go in this quarter.
Clock runs, probably the final play of the quarter as the Bulldogs come to the line. They've got a wing back on the right side. Now they shift into the single wing, look for the direct snap. It goes looking for a seal block on the outside. This is
good play, guys.
Oh, yeah. A tackle from behind. That was
44.
poor with the running, and Wesley Smith pursuit from behind. From the backer position will catch Poor as Poor saw the outside cut off, so a good job out on this side by the Highlanders, this side being the left defensive side. And we've now reached the end of the first quarter of play from Highlander Field. A non-regional matchup between our Highlanders and the Claiborne Bulldogs. And after 1 quarter, it's our Highlanders 21, the Bulldogs 0. We'll step aside for a short break. When we come back, we'll get you set for more Highlander football.
Your favorite food, cooked to order, just the way you like it, when you want it. At Huddle House, you can have any meal, anytime, 24 hours a day. From big house platters, big meals for big appetites, to Lighthouse grilled chicken and chef salads, to delicious signature chicken tender sandwiches. Huddle House in Oneida is a place where hungry folks gather to enjoy good food, good friends, great hospitality. Before or after the game, huddle up at Huddle House in Oneida. Through the years, Scott County and First Trust and Savings Bank have seen many changes. Back in 1923, when First Trust was incorporated, times were different, life a lot slower. Today, First Trust has grown to keep up with the pace of life, expanding its Municipal Drive location to better serve its customers, including adding more drive-through lanes for faster service, banking hours to fit your lifestyle, full-service banking at Walmart Supercenters in Jacksboro and Oneida, loans, commercial and residential, 24-hour banking online.
Come to First Trust. You're like banking with us.
A 3-touchdown, 21-0 lead for the Highlanders. One thing the Highlanders did on that last possession on the fumble recovery deep in Claiborne territory, the Highlanders had it 1st and 10 from the Claiborne 11-yard line. Coach Sexton said, we've got to get points in the red zone. It took them one play and Tim Henry 11 yards to pick up that touchdown. So the execution much better so far here in the first quarter. And as we begin play, it will be Claiborne County 2nd down and 11 to go with the ball at about their own 38-yard line. The Highlanders on defense. I'm going to try to set those men for you up front. The right defensive end is Josh Jardy, number 72. The tackle inside of him looks like number 64, Chad Hudson, I'm going to say. The left defensive tackle, I think, is number 52, Chris Chambers. The left defensive end is Tim Hembry. Now this time Wesley Smith steps up to be the right defensive end. The linebacker is Brandon West. This is Gibson looking to lob a pass outside. It's complete at the 44, at the 45, and then drugged down as Claiborne has picked up another first down. Looked like they're going to run a quarterback sweep action and then getting out more. That was number 21 who has the first down.
They went back, shifted into the single wing, or they were, yeah, the single wing, and the snap went directly to the halfback or one of the backs that they call them. And it started out as a sweep, like you say, ran a little flood pattern to the flat on the left and got their first down.
Brandon West will challenge the lone receiver for Claiborne County on the left side. Again, the shift into the single wing, the direct snap. It goes back to Poor. Poor tries the right side, and 2 or 3 Highlanders get in there, making the tackle, wrapping up around the ankles, number 52, that is Chambers again for the Highlanders. Chris Chambers, a gain of, I'm going to say 3. It will be 2nd and 7 upcoming for the Bulldogs. The play from their sideline, the Bulldogs coached by Barry Lyles. $11 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Your Highlanders leading 21-0. Claiborne County with the ball. A little trap play inside. That's Holt, and Holt's hit at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward, but I believe only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Just a good job by that right defensive side by the Highlanders. That's Chambers in there again. Also for the Highlanders, Josh Darty. I believe that Robert Potter and also Wesley Smith get in to help on that pursuit. No gain, if not a loss of a little bit. It's 3rd and a long 7 to go for the Bulldogs. 10.5 minutes remaining first half. Receivers left and right, split backs in the backfield behind Gibson. Rose to the right side. Gibson is a left-hander trying to throw across his body. He doesn't work as his pass goes incomplete. The Highlanders chasing Gibson. Good pressure on the receiver outside. That was Gibson outside, Matt Gibson. And just good pressure by the Highlanders, which should force another punt from Claiborne. So the Highlanders did give up 2 first downs on this Claiborne possession, but it looks like the Highlander defense has held, and Claiborne will be punting. Doing the punting duties for Claiborne High School is Eric Holt, number 40. The snap to him, the punt, high punt. It's going to come up short. The Highlanders need to get out of the way and let it bounce as it's bouncing back upfield, and Claiborne will down it somewhere around the 33, maybe the 34-yard line of the Highlanders. Not a lot of net on that as it took a backward bounce.
Look for the Highlanders to really be setting up a return that time. Wasn't that good of a rush on, but that punt happened to be the highest punt we saw here tonight, and it was short enough that they really couldn't field it clean and make use of any blocking scheme they had planned out.
1st and 10 for the Highlanders. They start on about their own 33-yard line. Cody Frog goes left. Eric Boshears to the right. Tight end Justin Boshears lines up on the left side of the Highlander formation. 2 backs behind quarterback Jeffers. Toss pitch to Smith. Tries to get outside. Broke a tackle. Looks for running room. Broke a second tackle into the secondary, and he's going to be bulldogged out of bounds along the Claiborne sideline as he gets across the 49. We'll have to say officially it's the 50-yard line for Wesley Smith. He got a little bit of a block on the edge, but actually broke out of the grasp of a tackler himself, and that gave him the corner and the sideline.
You've got to like watching Wesley play, Rick. Remember I told you the first game we saw him in, I said, you know, he could turn into maybe the headhunter on this team. Defensively, he stands out. You see him make those hits. That time he gave a little burst of speed. When a defender got to, he just lowered that shoulder and went boom.
1st and 10. The ball is still on the Highlander 50-yard line side. A little toss pitch to the right side. That's Smith. Has running room out in front of him. Got a block by the receiver out in front, and now he's bulldogged down from behind as he gets to the 37-yard line of the Bulldogs, and looks like another first down for Wesley. Wesley and Tim Hembry, to me, they look a lot alike size-wise, how hard they run. Wesley with a little better speed. Set him up to run the ball outside on the toss sweeps.
And you know, he does have the speed. Maybe Tim's got a little bit of edge on making those quick cuts when he's in traffic.
Tim is good at that.
He is good.
Tim sees the field well. This time, senior Robert Potter moves up to the H-back position left side, tied in on the right side of the formation by the Highlanders. That leaves one back. That's Henry in the backfield. They give it to Tim. Pulls the defender with him 4, 5, 6 yards downfield. The defender had him at the line of scrimmage. All he had was the back of Tim's jersey.
What's he going, 7 yards?
And I mean, that wasn't a little 180-pound safety. That was a big lineman that Tim was pulling along with him, man. 6 on the carry, 2nd and 4 upcoming for the Highlanders. Clock runs, 8 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Your Highlanders leading by 3 touchdowns, 3 extra points. That's 21-0 over the Claiborne Bulldogs. Boshears to the left side. He draws some double coverage out there, H. To the right side, Brandon West. They back off of him and give him a cushion. They fake it to Hembry again. No, they give it to Tim. Running room. Penalty flag flies in the backfield. Tim pulling defenders along as he gets to about the 12, 13-yard line. And from the position of the flag, it's coming back. The referee already waving it back. It's going to be hold somewhere at the point of attack.
And that is officially, I can say it now, the first flag we saw dropped here tonight.
It be dropped against the Highlanders, and it cost them 10 from the spot of the foul, pushing the ball back to the Highlander 43-yard line. The down remains the same, 2nd down, but it's now 2nd and 15 to go for the Highlanders. The Highlanders would need to get the ball to about the Claiborne 28-yard line.
And you know, when you figure in the loss of that good gain they made, that's a big loss.
Cody Frog on the right, Derek Boshears on the left. Robert Potter, H-back, left side. Jordan Jeffers gone all the way at quarterback. Looks for Frog. In and out of his hands. Ball tipped up and dropped by the defensive corner for Claiborne. Had his hands on the ball for the interception. It mounts off of Cody's front pads in his chest. So instead of taking the ball with his hands, he lets it come all the way in and hits his pads.
And you know, that ball hung up there, and I could just see that defensive back. He had just a sprint. Jordan might have had a chance, but it would have been even a good run for Jordan that brought him down.
8 minutes remaining first half. 3rd down, 15, maybe 16 to go for the Highlanders. Brandon West on the right side. Derek Boshears left side. Again, Potter, the H-back, left side. Tight end Justin Boshears on the right side of the formation. Jeffers drops the pass. Here comes the pressure. Looks up the right side. Pinning it for Boshears, laying out. Can't make the grab along the sideline.
Jeffers pass incomplete.
Nice touch pass along the sideline. And Boshears did everything he could to lay out for the ball.
And he can make those catches.
Oh, yes, he can, H. It would appear the Highlanders will punt on 4th down. The ball at the 43-yard line. So Robert Potter on to punt for the Highlanders. He'll be trying to pooch one and down it deep inside Claiborne territory. Claiborne puts 2 backs deep and an up back in front of them. In punt formation, the snap. Robert gets it away. Just a little end-over-end punt in. The receiver takes it at his 12, and the Highlanders are going to tackle him at the 14. About 2 yards on the return for Claiborne County, and the Highlanders holding Claiborne County in their own territory, actually pretty deep in their own territory as they start from their 15. So Claiborne, their last possessions, the last 5 possessions have started at their own 35, 14, 19, 23, and 15-yard lines.
The Highlander defense, along with the special teams, have done really good in this first half tonight.
1st and 10 Claiborne. They'll have a receiver split left, 1 right, tight end right side, 2 backs split in the backfield. The quarterback, Matt Gibson. Gibson, little delay around, and boom, big hit. That's Jeff Poor, the tackle by the Highlanders.
I believe I saw 28 on the bottom of that.
That would be the side that Tim Hembry plays,
yes.
H, and that would look like some of his work. A loss of 3, 2nd and 13 for the Bulldogs upcoming. Let's try to set that for you. The backers in the middle. Seth Yates is 62. Robert Potter is number 5. The Highlanders actually in a 5-man front. The ends in this 5 front are 44 Wesley Smith on the right side, Tim Hembry on the left side. I'll set those down linemen. It looks like Justin Boshears is playing the nose guard in the 5. The Highlanders roll their cover around. They'll give it to Holt. The big back bounces off of one of his own man, and here comes 4, 5, 6 Highlander jerseys around the ball to tackle Holt as he gets just across the 15. Give him about 4 on the carry. It will be 3rd and a long 9 upcoming for Claiborne County.
You know, Rick, if the folks haven't saw this Claiborne County team, and most of them haven't, if they're not here and they're hearing us, then you wouldn't understand the physical size of this team. I mean, they're a quality-looking group of young men down there.
And athletically, they're not a bad squad. I think just a different hat worn by the Highlanders tonight, H, in this game. 6.5 remaining first half. Claiborne shifts to the single wing. Direct snap. It's fumbled by Poor. Here comes Smith from behind, and he'll tackle Poor as Poor has to stop and pick up the ball. Back at about the 8, maybe now they'll spot it at about the 10-yard line. That will force another punt from Claiborne, and I would suspect the Highlanders will end up with possession of the ball in Claiborne territory as the ball at the 9-yard line. So we'll have to get a good punt off here.
All you got to do is wonder if they're going to turn them loose or set up the return.
Tim Henry is coming. FAST blocks it.
He got it.
Tim got it. It goes into the end zone. Tim bobbles it. It goes out of bounds. Tim had it, knocked it out with his knee. It will be a safety.
By Tim Henry.
The Highlanders pick up 2, and that's the second block. That's the second block by Tim in the game. The Highlanders lead at 23-0. Let's take a short timeout, or we'll be back with more action after this message. Our score 23-0 Highlanders.
Since opening their doors back in 1966, Danny's Drug's first priority has been their customers' well-being, taking the time to advise customers on the proper use of prescription and over-the-counter medications, offering convenient drive-through prescription services to keep you out of the weather, especially when you're feeling under the weather. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1. Reputable, friendly, and courteous service for over 32 years. Danny's Drugs, Main Street, Oneida.
Is this what it felt like in your house this past winter? If so, there's a way you can stop feeding the meter and start saving money. It's TVA's Energy Right program, full of great ways to make your home more energy efficient and your bills more affordable all year long. So ask your local electric company for the free do-it-yourself Energy Right home evaluation. Stop feeding the meter and start saving money every month.
Plateau Electric Cooperative 569-8591.
Tim Henry with his second blocked punt of the game. The first one the Highlanders recovered and got a touchdown. This one the Highlanders, Tim chased it into the end zone, had it in his hands and actually kicked it out with his knee through the back of the end zone. It's ruled as a safety against Claiborne County, and they'll be kicking off from their own 20-yard line. Deep for the Highlanders is Wesley Smith. He stands at the Highlander 40-yard line. The kick gets high. Wesley drops back, takes it in at his 38-yard line. Wesley straight into the middle of the field, breaks one tackle into the middle, breaks a second tackle, ran into his own man, still trying to drive and takes it down to the Claiborne 41-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Highlanders.
Advances the ball.
I'm going to tell you, Rick, I knew that Wesley Smith had some pretty good foot speed, but tonight has made me realize he can be fast.
27 yards on the kickoff return by Wesley. Oh, he may be second only to Jordan Jeffers as far as speed on this team, H.
Oh, and he likes to hit people. I like that in anybody.
And he is a sophomore. 1st and 10 Highlanders. Robert Potter, Cody Frog splitting to the left side. Derek Boshears to the right. Short side in front of the Highlander benches. In the second quarter, the Highlanders have been moving from left to right. That's south to north. A little pump fake, a screen outside. He goes to Boshears, breaks the tackle, has some running room along sideline, got a block, stays on his feet. Looks for another cutback. Derek broke another tackle and heads to the end zone. We say touchdown Highlanders. It covers 41 yards on the pass and run.
And you know what was so great about that? 2 different times those blockers got there a little late for the bubble screen, but as he stumbled and fell, they reached, grabbed him by the shoulder and kind of lifted him back up on his feet 2 separate times.
The pass, catch, and run by the 2 guys you see. One holding the ball. He scored the touchdown, Derek Boshears. The other one throwing the ball. That was Jordan Jeffers. And they're attempting the point after kick, and Jordan line drives that one through, and apparently it was a little wide right. The point after is no good, but nevertheless, the score now Highlanders 29, Claiborne 0. We'll take a break and be back with more exciting Friday night high school football from Highlander Field after this commercial break.
Today's hectic schedules make it difficult to stay in touch with your family, and sometimes getting in touch is really important. But with Verizon Wireless, it's getting easier to connect with the people that matter most, no matter where they are. With a number of convenient options, from multiple phones to text messaging, now it's easier to keep the entire family on the same page. Cellular Communications, your authorized Verizon retailer, has a plan for just about everyone, covering more towns, cities, and places, connecting more people than any other wireless service provider in the nation. Verizon Wireless, Cellular Communications, Oneida Plaza.
Domino's Pizza is making the freshest and best tasting pizza in town. Domino's Pizza is making every order hot and fresh, putting it in their exclusive Heatwave hot bag and delivering it right to your door. Call your order in today. Dial 569-2000. Pizza, hot wings, breadsticks, cheesy bread, salads, and more. Order now, come in and get it, or have it delivered to your door. Delivery is free. Domino's Pizza. Call in your order now. 569-2000.
The pass, reception, and run for the touchdown by Derek Boshears has given the Howlers now a 29-0 lead over the Claiborne Bulldogs, and the Howlers will be kicking off. This time is who's going to kick? It looks like Robert Potter is going to kick off. Where is Jordan Jeffers? Jordan would normally be kicking off. I'm assuming he's on the sideline somewhere, and they're really trying to give Jordan a break. He didn't practice. He's been weak all week. The little pooch kick, it's going to be on the ground, and finally Claiborne gets back as they'll fall on the ball at their own 29-yard line. Now, these little pooch kicks, for some strange, odd reason, look like they're catching Claiborne off guard. I don't know why, because the Howlers have been doing this on almost every kick.
They're hitting those little dead zones, Rick, and I guess Claiborne, their running backs, the receivers, are just not aggressive enough and come to the ball before it actually hits.
First and 10, Claiborne, 5:26 remaining. That will be Gibson faking, rolling left, pulls it down, throws a pass to Holt, which bounces in and out of his hands. It would only have been for a 2 or 3 yard gain, but it goes incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10, Claiborne. Again, I'm going to try to set the Highlander defense for you. I've got to mention these guys because they're doing a wonderful job. On the field, that was number 42. That's Josh Jeffers. He'll play the right defensive end. The right defensive tackle is 64, Chad Hudson. The nose guard in the 5 front is number 2. That's Justin Boshears. The left defensive tackle, I believe, is still number 52, Chris Chambers. And we've got a new left defensive end. If I'll get his number, I'll give it to you after this play. A receiver to the right for Claiborne. They split the backs. Little inside trap reverse. The Howlers are there. Boom. They play it well. A couple of tackles missed in the backfield, but making the big hit. 62. That's Seth Yancey.
And that's a good one.
A loss of 1 is 3rd and 11. The Howlers might have missed 1 or 2 tackles right there, but Seth Yancey wrapped up and took him down there.
Like I said, Rick, they're staying at home, well disciplined. That little reverse action comes back, and basically the ball carrier just run right into that big old fella, wanting to put a crunch on him.
Again, I'll try to set the left defensive end when I can. Claiborne shifts to the single wing, direct snap. Number 30 on the carry, looking for running room, runs into 2 or 3 Howlers after about a gain of 2 or 3 yards.
I believe that was Jordan made that tackle out there.
Ryan
17.
Helton on the carry for Claiborne. Now, I'm not sure that they're going to have Jordan in the game right now.
No, it was 17. I thought it was a 12, but that was a good tackle over there.
Holt on the field to punt again. He's had 2 punts blocked in the game. Gets this one away. Line drive, sails to Derek, takes it in at his 39-yard line, has a wall on the left side, speeds through the middle, jukes back outside, turns the corner on the sideline. He's going to be wrapped up and thrown down in Claiborne territory inside the Claiborne 40-yard line. With 3:52 remaining in the first half, this will be the 8th offensive possession for the Highlanders, starting at the 37-yard line of Claiborne High School. Jordan Jeffers in the game, a quarterback for the Highlanders. We see Adam Burge, he's the left offensive tackle now. Scott Baden would be the right offensive tackle. Brandon Allen the guard, Matt Keaton the guards, and Joe Lay the center on the field. Potter was the H-back right side. Jeffers on the keeper, outside, has him running him the 30. Inside a defender, heads to the end zone, the 10, the 5. Jordan Jeffers says touchdown. I just took it 37 yards to the house.
3:42 remaining in the first half. Just a great play, just a little fake inside. Set up some great blocking, and I'll have to say that Derek Boshears, as he has done all year from his wideout position, made just a fantastic block that let Jordan fly most of that 37 yards.
And it will be Jordan to attempt the point after. The last kick must have been wide right a little bit, as it was no good for the Highlanders. The snap, the placement, the kick, this one sails wide left, no good. I can tell Jordan is probably tired because, as we said, he didn't practice this week out of concerns that he had some sort of viral infection. You know, a humid night to start out with, H. I think they need to be careful with that.
It's thick out there. It's real thick out there, Rick. And temperature-wise, it's pretty moderate for this time of the year. But like I said, it is kind of thick.
Okay, let me take a break. I should have done that after the touchdown. The Highlanders lead 35-0. A quick 30-second break, and we'll be back with more football action.
At Roark's Pharmacy, our people in our service set us apart. Unlike discount stores that sell a little of everything, Roark's Pharmacy specializes in taking care of you with prescription and non-prescription medicines, natural alternatives, products, and services.
Remember to educate before you medicate. Remember the 3 R's: risk, respect, and responsibility. Take responsibility. Ask questions if you need more information. And remember the 4th R, Roark's Pharmacy.
At Markham's, we don't want to keep you up half the night worrying about how much you paid for that mattress set you're sleeping on, which is why we have twin sets starting at a low $189.95. Not to mention bedroom sets at just $599.95 and 2-piece living room sets for $699.95. Want a rocker recliner? We've got them. Or how about a solid oak curio cabinet, $299.95? And the bargains don't stop there. We also carry dinette sets, big screen TVs, and a complete line of GE, Maytag, and Gibson appliances. Markham's Furniture, 211 Depot Street in Oneida.
The kickoff by Robert Potter sails deep, taken by the returner into the Highlander sideline and then hit hard at the Highlander 35, falls ahead to about the 37, 38-yard line in Claiborne County with good field position to start what would be their 8th possession of the half. And on my chart, I only have room for about 6 possessions a half for each team, so I'm going to have to start a new chart here at halftime.
As quick as the Highlander defense has been getting the ball back, Rick, it may not take long.
3:32 remaining in the first half. The Highlanders leading 35-0. Little handoff to the wingback, looking for Erneman, cuts back. That was poor on the carry across the 42 to about the 43-yard line. No, they'll give him the 44. A gain of 4, 2nd and 6, Claiborne High School.
On the carry, stopped by Josh Lay after a gain of 4.
Different personnel on the field. One of the backers on the field, that's Johnny West. He's now calling the defensive signals on the field. It looks like the Highlanders H may have, I think, an entire 2nd defensive unit on the field now.
Pretty much.
Receivers left and right, Claiborne. One back behind the quarterback, Gibson. Gibson drops the pass, lobs it high up the sideline. Cody Frog over to knock it down. Cody normally on the starting team. This just gives him a chance to play the free safety a little bit. Cody with 2 interceptions last week and a touchdown reception tonight. Bats the ball down, bringing up 3rd and still 6 to go for the Bulldogs.
He did a really good job right there, Rick. He read that play, he drifted over, and he made his jump and timed it to go for that ball at the highest point. The receiver quite a bit taller than him, and he got up there with him and ripped the ball loose.
we're going to try our best to spot the plays by the defense, and we'll recognize the Highlanders on defense as we count on each play. The handoff, that's to Holt. Holt stood up to the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle into the secondary, taking it into Highlander territory down to the Highlander 43-yard line. The backers have to chase him down and make the tackle from behind. It will be a first down, Claiborne.
Stopped by Hunter West.
I have him with only 3 first downs.
3-yard line, where it will be first down and 10 to go.
In the first half.
That would be the third one, I believe.
First and 10 Bulldogs. The Highlanders still operate in a 52. 3 down linemen, 2 up ends, and 2 backers. 2 backs in the backfield behind quarterback Gibson. Hands it to one of those backs, has running room on the right side into the secondary, and the Highlanders chase and make the tackle as he rips off yardage to take it down to the Highlander 23-yard line. That was number 30.
Helton on the carry.
Ryan Helton on the carry. It's first down, Claiborne.
Helton gets to the 23-yard
from the ball at the 23-yard line, and we see lots of red shirts come back in, and I believe the first defense comes in. And you say somebody takes a timeout. Well, the Highlanders do take a timeout. With a timeout on the field, we'll join the teams with a timeout. 1 minute, 56 seconds left in the first half. It's our own Scott Highlanders 35, the Claiborne High Bulldogs 0, and we'll be back with more football action after this break from one of tonight's high school football sponsors.
Only a healthy pet is a happy companion. Assuring your pet's daily well-being requires regular care and close attention to any hint of illness. Highland Veterinary Hospital is a full-service facility, providing care for all animals, large and small. Dr. Elizabeth K. Burris and her caring staff take the time to make you and your pets more comfortable. In-house x-ray and lab equipment provide quicker diagnoses. In addition to healthcare services, grooming appointments are available. Highland Veterinary Hospital, across from First National Bank, Oneida.
Edgewood Homes of Oneida has East Tennessee's largest selection of homes like Mansion Homes, Champion, Homes of Legend, Giles, Chandelure, Clayton, and Fleetwood Homes, offering 30-year financing with rates as low as 5.75%, land home packages, and installing your septic, electric, water, and driveway, even your porches and decks. Edgewood Homes of Oneida is proud to announce that we've received the prestigious Customer Satisfaction Award, so you know you'll get great customer service. Come by today and let one of our sales associates show you your new home, or call us at 569-9595. At Edgewood Homes, we make it easy for you.
The Highlander coaching staff with a decision. We are pitching the shutout in the first half. We'll come back with our first defensive unit, and we're going to try to hold Claiborne County as they're at the Highlander 23-yard line, first and 10. Matt Gibson, the quarterback, he's gone all the way. Took 2 or 3 good pops. Gibson rolls to the left, turns his body back inside. The pass in and out of the hands of his receiver. If it falls incomplete, it will be second and 10.
Intended for Stone.
Gibson, the left-hander, and it's the first time I think we've seen the left-hander in a couple of years.
Yes, it is.
Looks a little unnatural.
Well, let's see. They've thrown a couple balls to the right, but on that roll throw, he's went to his right, throwing with his left hand.
And has to turn back around, and he's,
yeah.
The Highlanders are pressuring from behind, so he's unable to really turn and square his feet around. So good pressure by the Highlanders. Second down to Claiborne. Receivers left and right, 2 backs. They'll give it to Helton. Helton with some room on the right side might pick up a yard as the Highlander left defensive side is there, wrapping up to make the tackle. Penetration underneath. I think Robert Potter got in and just tripped him up a little bit. A gain of 2, 3rd and 8, Claiborne County. Should say Claiborne County, it's Claiborne High School. And that clock does continue to run, so Claiborne has at least 2 more plays here, this being a 3rd and 4th down situation probably. As the Bulldogs come to the line of scrimmage, they'll have a wing back on the left side. Now they shift into the wing tee, direct snap. It goes back to Poor. Poor rolls left, lobs a little pass, and it's going to be intercepted by Derek Boshears. Has a block out in front, has red shirts in front of him, cuts back in, breaks a tackle, struggles and tripped up as he gets across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. The interception by DB off of the pass to Poor.
Boshears advances the ball
The Highlanders with their 9th possession. It comes with 53 seconds remaining in the first half. I don't know what to expect. I'd like to see another touchdown, but the Highlanders very well may just take the knee and run out the first half here. They start from their own 37-yard line. First down. Jeffers looking over the Claiborne defense. Steps back. Little draw play goes to Hembry. And if the whistles hadn't blown on that particular play, Tim Hembry was in the safety's face mask before anybody knew what happened.
Motion.
That'll cost the Highlanders 5, only the second penalty of the first half.
False start against your Highlanders. And it will be
Still first down, but it's 1st and 15.
Correction, it's first down and 15.
Timeout, Claiborne.
Claiborne with a timeout. Let's join the teams with another timeout. Your Highlanders leading 35-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Why are they calling the time now? Okay, he don't want to give up another score, but you know, they didn't show the least bit of hurry when they were on offense and the clock winding down.
Your favorite food, cooked to order, just the way you like it, when you want it. At Huddle House, you can have any meal, anytime, 24 hours a day. From big house platters, big meals for big appetites, to Lighthouse grilled chicken and chef salads, to delicious signature chicken tender sandwiches. Huddle House in Oneida is a place where hungry folks gather to enjoy good food, good friends, great hospitality. Before or after the game, huddle up at Huddle House in Oneida. Through the years, Scott County and First Trust and Savings Bank have seen many changes. Back in 1923, when First Trust was incorporated, times were different, life a lot slower. Today, First Trust has grown to keep up with the pace of life, expanding its Municipal Drive location to better serve its customers, including adding more drive-through lanes for faster service. Banking hours to fit your lifestyle. Full-service banking at Walmart Supercenters in Jacksboro and Oneida. Loans, commercial and residential. 24-hour banking online.
Come to First Trust. You're like banking with us.
Welcome back to Highlander Field. Rick Keaton, H.L. Keaton, Woody on hand this evening. The Highlander crew bringing you action tonight from Highlander Field. Their 3rd consecutive home game to start the 2003 season for the Highlanders. And you're listening to Highlander football tonight on WBNT FM 105.5, and also catch our video replay on Oneida Cable and Video. That's Channel 4, seen locally in Scott County on the Comcast communication system. First down, Highlanders, 1st and 15. Receivers left and right, and another flag flies as I think
2-4 across.
Maybe Derek Boshear's across the way and lines up across the line of scrimmage. So this is not the way we want to end the first half of play, by making a couple of penalties, lining up across the line. The previous penalty was a procedural penalty. The Highlanders, the only team penalized in the first half, as they have now drawn 3 flags for a grand total of 20 yards.
After the penalty, it will be first down and 20.
And I'm sure that even though everything seems to have gone pretty much the Highlanders' way the first half, that issue will probably be addressed down at halftime.
Oh, I'm sure. Same formation, Highlanders, twins to the right, 1 receiver left, 1 back. That's Hembry in the backfield. Jordan drops the pass, a little flare pass on the outside intended for Hembry, and it's ruled incomplete. Very close to a lateral there, but Tim did the right thing. He stayed right after the ball until it went out of bounds along the sideline, where the official, in this case, waved it as an incomplete pass. That stops the clock. 44 seconds to go. It's 2nd and about 20 to go for the Highlanders.
Did I hear that right? Did you happen to hear that score?
Well, if I heard that score right, that would be a surprise of surprises, I think.
I'm here to tell you.
Dropping the pass. It goes intended for Robert Potter, running a little seam on the right side, deflected by the backer for Claiborne, and that was 52 John Bliss. If that score was right, it said at halftime that Rockwood was leading Kingston 20-7.
20-7. Yeah, we'll check in on that if we can in just a few minutes. That would be, gee, I don't know if I'd like that happening tonight or not, and have them Yellow Jackets stirred up and a little mad in a week.
So It's a two backs behind for receivers left and right. Third down with 40 seconds left. The little draw play goes to Hembry, has running room, lots of running room, has the first down, eludes a defender. Tim Hembry turns back to the Highlanders sideline. Tim Hembry may be taking this all the way to the house. Out in front of him is Brandon West, and Tim Hembry has the touchdown, and it covers 72 yards on a draw play.
That was the initial play that the Highlanders opened this series with. There was a penalty on that play. They were penalized some. They ran a couple other plays, came back to it. On that initial play, though, Rick, it had the makings of a big gainer. Just some great running and some good blocks downfield with those wideouts.
And Tim, we were talking about Wesley a while ago. What you think about that?
Good speed.
Burn that time.
Good speed.
Robert Potter will be attempting the point after kick for the Hollers out of the hole of Derek Boshears. The placement, the kick, line drives it through there. Looks like it's good from here. And the Highlanders now lead 42-0. 42-0 is our score with 27 seconds to go, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Since opening their doors back in 1966, Danny's Drug's first priority has been their customers' well-being, taking the time to advise customers on the proper use of prescription and over-the-counter medications, offering convenient drive-through prescription services to keep you out of the weather, especially when you're feeling under the weather. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. till 1. Reputable, friendly, and courteous service for over 32 years. Danny's Drugs, Main Street, Oneida.
Is this what it felt like in your house this past winter? If so, there's a way you can stop feeding the meter and start saving money. It's TVA's Energy Right program, full of great ways to make your home more energy efficient and your bills more affordable all year long. So ask your local electric company for the free do-it-yourself Energy Right home evaluation. Stop feeding the meter and start saving money every month.
Plateau Electric Cooperative 569-8591.
Another touchdown tacked on by the Hollers in the first half. Scores of interest continue to come in. At halftime, we said it was Rockwood 20-7 over Kingston. Ladies and gentlemen, last week's opponent, the Highlanders' last week opponent, Lenore City, leading Morristown West, a strong 4-18, 14-0. Strong performance by Lenore City. The kickoff was sailed to the sideline. It goes out of bounds across the way, and Claiborne will have possession on their own 35-yard line.
Out of bounds, it will be placed back into play at the 35-yard line, where the Claiborne Bulldogs will take over. First down and 10 to go.
Well, this so far has been a good night for our Highlanders defensively. Offensively, they've scored quick. They've had one good sustained drive, and maybe what you'd call a fragmented drive. The last one, I guess you'd call that a fragmented drive, but good play all around. Special teams have performed really good. A couple of block punts, an interception. Just a good performance.
First and 10 Claiborne. Clock will start on the snap. It does. Hand off inside. That's Holt. Has some running room into the secondary, and Holt caught from behind. Seth Yancey comes back to help. Who I want to say that's Dylan Stonecipher playing one of the safety positions for the Highlanders. No, it's Hunter West. Hunter West in there helping on the tackle. The clock will run at 15, and we're not sure that Claiborne gets this final play off here, but they're going to hustle and try to get to the line of scrimmage. That was a first down, the 5th first down of the half by Claiborne.
Get it off.
4 seconds and the clock running. Somebody
flags
moved,
everywhere.
And the clock is stopped with about 1 second to go.
One thing about old Holt, Rick, he may not be a fleet-footed rascal, but he sure packs a wallop when you go to tackle him.
I'm guessing he's about 6'1" or 6'2" and an easy 250 pounds.
At least.
You know, and I can understand why some of the backs might want to try to take him on down around the ankles. But that is the end. They just wind the clock after the possession. That's the end of the first half. You know, how can we describe it other than domination by the Highlanders?
At the half, Oneida 38, Jellicoe 0.
And as we said, the Highlanders explosive on defense. The defense, you got to remember, has set up a couple of touchdowns for the Highlanders. There was one time the defense gave the Highlanders to the north end zone. That's the right. They're kicking off from right to left as Robert Potter will be kicking. The Highlanders lead 42-0. And after this kick, I want to recognize the Highlander seniors on the field this evening, 12 seniors, and I want to recognize those young men. Robert gets ready. The kick is going to sail high and deep, taken by the back. That is Poor. Poor looks to the middle, cuts back outside, and the Highlanders are there to take him down at about the Claiborne 23-yard line.
Okay, I got one little question, Rick. While I was running that little errand for you there, when I left with the coach down there was like 1 minute and 15 seconds.
They put a couple, 2 or 3 minutes.
And I started to say, when I come back, there was, I had to pick my way through the crowd, you know. And
since you were running that errand for me,
yeah,
you know, we got a little.
That was nice. That was nice.
Just compensation there for you.
And I thought, well, maybe I offended Coach Sexton by cutting him off short. I didn't.
We'll get back to some of your comments in just a moment. 1st and 10, Claiborne High School. 2 backs, 2 receivers. They'll give it to the fullback. That's Holt looking for running room. Picks up 4, maybe 6 yards there as he gets out to the 29-yard line. It will be 2nd down for Claiborne County. I want to recognize the Highlander seniors first of all. Josh Darty, Jeremy Kimbrell, Jordan Jeffers, Brandon West, Derek Boshears, Adam Burge, Tim Hembry, Joe Lay, Robert Potter, Brandon Allen, Scott Baden, and Justin Boshears. Those 12 seniors on the Highlander squad this year. We'll talk more about what you may have heard in the dressing room after this. As Claiborne shifts to the single wing. 2nd and 5. Direct snap. It goes to Helton. Helton looking for running room. Stacked up. Tries to get outside. Bad mistake as the Highlanders will wrap him up. A helmet hit there, a late helmet hit by the Highlanders just falling on the ball carrier, and that's going to cost the Highlanders, and I know Coach Sexton ain't going to like that one.
He didn't indicate anything other than a personal foul on the
prelim.
Well,
that's all that they would do. Yeah, it's just a personal foul. It costs the Highlanders 15, and Claiborne picks up a 1st down on penalties. Pick up anything in the dressing room or just on the sidelines?
No, Rick. Basically what Coach Sexton said when I was speaking to him on air there, he would like to put some 2nd, 3rd teams in, but as long as big old Holt's in there, he don't want to take a chance on getting all those young kids hurt.
Good point. The Highlanders in a 4 front, so they're in a 44 defense, 2 safeties and a cornerback. They're a little inside wing reverse, caught in the backfield, spun down. Good penetration by the Highlanders up front to get behind the line of scrimmage. They'll throw the ball carrier down for a loss of 3. It's now 2nd and 13. I think it probably suits the Highlanders, too, to come out and be on defense during this first possession right here. Try to hold Claiborne, get the ball back. And I expect them really to work on some of their basic stuff, just to get timing down on passes. Also,
execution. That was one thing I heard, you know, a few of the coaches just, you know, mentioning in general was improved execution.
Split backs, receivers left and right. Rolling. This is Gibson. Gibson pressured by Tim Hembry. Pulls the ball down, slips and falls down. He'll be at his own 37-yard line, so he'll actually lose 2. Typically in the pros, that would go as a sack, but howsoever, once your knee touches in high school football, you're down. It's 3rd and about 14, maybe 15 yards to go for the Claiborne Bulldogs. They trail our Highlanders by a 42-0 margin here. Highlanders with a 6-touchdown advantage. Clock runs with 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Claiborne again with receivers left and right. A little wing back on the left. Now goes in motion. Late handoff. That is Poor looking for running room, and the Highlanders say no. Tim Hembry. And who? Fred Henry. They team up to make the tackle on Jeff Poor back at the 34-yard line. A loss of about 5 more, and it's 4th and 20 to go. And that will force Claiborne into punting position. Eric Holt will again drop and punt for Claiborne High School. Deep, Derek Boshier standing about his 35-yard line. Now, Holt's ripped a couple of punts tonight that has driven Derek back a little bit, and they're trying to position him on the field now. Holt with the kick. High kick. Coming up, that's Boshier's with the catch, looks from running room, has a wall, has a seam at the 50, inside the 45 of Claiborne, weaving out of bounds in front of the Highlander bench. He'll be driven out of bounds at about the 40-yard line of Claiborne. Give him about 20 yards on the return, and the Highlanders say 1st down and 10 in Bulldog territory.
Yeah, Derek just did a great job, just the way he kept setting up his blocks, and that's something that you know, it's a technique. I don't know if they can teach it to kids or not, but, you know, you move one way and it makes the defender move. When you see a blocker coming, you come. Hey, it's just, like I said, I can't even explain it, but he did it good.
I'm gonna make a comment about that right here. Somebody takes a timeout. Claiborne takes a timeout. Let's join the teams with a timeout, and then I'll make the comment after that. 8 minutes, 1 second left in the third quarter. Your Howlers 42, Claiborne 0, and we'll be back after this short message.
Since opening their doors back in 1966, Danny's Drug's first priority has been their customers' well-being, taking the time to advise customers on the proper use of prescription and over-the-counter medications, offering convenient drive-through prescription services to keep you out of the weather, especially when you're feeling under the weather. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. till 1. Reputable, friendly, and courteous service for over 32 years. Danny's Drugs, Main Street, Oneida.
Is this what it felt like in your house this past winter? If so, there's a way you can stop feeding the meter and start saving money. It's TVA's Energy Right program, full of great ways to make your home more energy efficient and your bills more affordable all year long. So ask your local electric company for the free do-it-yourself Energy Right home evaluation. Stop feeding the meter and start saving money every month.
Plateau Electric Cooperative 569-8591.
Make is this year the Highlanders have a ball machine, and they can set it for passing drills, kickoff, punt drills, and so they're actually able in practice age to spend less time but more time to catch punts and stuff such as that, which really helps in your return game. The Highlanders stacking in with 2 tight ends. Wing back left, they give it to, looks like Wesley Smith. He'll drive ahead for 3 yards down to the 37 of Claiborne County. It will be 2nd and 7 upcoming Highlanders.
Number 30 for Claiborne, I'm not sure knows where he is right now.
3, it will be 2nd down and 7.
30 is Ryan Helton. He started off the field and decided he'd come back for more. Now he's down on one knee, and I think the officials recognize that, and they're going to stop the play and get some assistance in for Helton. He maybe doesn't know where he's at, but somebody's going to have to show him which way to go to the sideline. I'm not saying that because it's a nice precautionary move, and we're glad that the officials stepped in and saw that he was distressed.
When he got up on this side of the field, he actually started towards the Highlander bench, and he was taking crossover steps as he did it. Turned the other way and waved his hand. Nobody responded.
Tight formation for the Highlanders. Boshear's the receiver on the left short side. Brandon West is a little wing back left. They fake it. They give it to Fred Henry with a carry on the right side. Fred tripped up by the ankle as he gets inside the 35 down inside the 32-yard line of the Bulldogs. A gain of about 6. It will bring up 3rd and we'll say 2 yards to go. Give him 5 on the carry. 3rd and less than 2 to go for the Highlanders. A good chance just to work on your ball handling skills for the quarterback. A good chance for your running backs to hit the hole hard, and a challenge to the line. That puts Claiborne at the line. They've got 6 linemen in front. They're stacking the box with 9. Split backs. They'll give it to Henry. Running room on the left side, rather, and he's bulldogged down as he gets to the 25-yard line. That's Wesley Smith, but nevertheless, it's a first down for the Highlanders as Smith picks up 7. Quick developing play, and boom, West was around the left end very quick and had the first down. Got spotted at the 25, and it was a pickup of 7 for Wesley Smith.
You know, when 89 ran over and wrapped those arms around and the ball carrier went down the way it did, I thought that don't look like Tim, you know.
Yeah, but when you're bulldogged and headlocked down, sometimes you just
there was a spinning twist on that.
Wesley Smith, Fred Henry, the running backs behind George Jeffers. They'll give it to Smith again. A little trap play.
6.
Wesley Smith may be headed and is to the end zone. It covers 25 yards, and it's a touchdown for the Highlanders.
And that was just well executed, and there was a dandy hole at the line of scrimmage. And, you know, we keep calling the skill position players' name a lot, but those guys up there on the Highlander offensive line, they've just done spectacular at times tonight, making broad openings. And looks like Mr. Potter's going to place the tee for the kick.
Robert in trying to convert his second consecutive point after kick. The snap, the kick up, not pretty, but it's through the uprights, and that's all that counts. As the Highlanders now lead by a margin of 49-0. We'll take another commercial break and be back with the ensuing Highlander kickoff after a message from tonight's football sponsors.
Today's hectic schedules make it difficult to stay in touch with your family, and sometimes getting in touch is really important. But with Verizon Wireless, it's getting easier to connect with the people that matter most, no matter where they are. With a number of convenient options, from multiple phones to text messaging, now it's easier to keep the entire family on the same page. Cellular Communications, your authorized Verizon retailer, has a plan for just about everyone, covering more towns, cities, and places, connecting more people than any other wireless service provider in the nation. Verizon Wireless. Cellular Communications, Oneida Plaza.
Domino's Pizza is making the freshest and best tasting pizza in town. Domino's Pizza is making every order hot and fresh, putting it in their exclusive Heatwave hot bag and delivering it right to your door. Call your order in today. Dial 569-2000. Pizza, hot wings, breadsticks, cheesy bread, salads, and more. Order now, come in and get it, or have it delivered to your door. Delivery is free. Domino's Pizza. Call in your order now. 569-2000.
We come back to live action, and Robert Potter will kick off, drives this one up the left side where it's taken by Poor, looking for running room, tries to cut back into the middle, and the Highlanders are just going to swarm him. Poor will get out to about the 23-yard line, and that's where Claiborne will start their second offensive possession of the third quarter. The same spot as their first, the 23-yard line. We've really got to talk about the Highlanders in a tight formation. And you said the linemen up front making the holes. And, you know, the Highlanders in this half have settled for those 4, 5, and an occasional 25-yard burst.
Yeah, well, see,
for a big play.
That's going to sharpen what those linemen are doing.
The second unit defense on the field now against Claiborne. The handoff to Holt. Holt sidesteps his defender and is drugged down from behind. Making the play in there for the Highlanders is, I don't have the number. I can't tell you. It was number 20. If you're a parent, grandparent, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, good friend, number 20 made the tackle.
It will be second down and 5 for Claiborne.
Second and about 5 to go for Claiborne. Clock runs. We've gone inside 5 minutes remaining in the third period. The handoff to Holt. Holt breaks into the secondary, tries to run to the sideline, looks into his own bench and is drugged down as he clears his 45 to the 46-yard line. Give Claiborne a first down on this possession. I know the Highlanders still want to throw the shutout. And at some point, if the second unit gives up a lot more yards, then they'll get the first defense back in.
You know, I'd have to say it's really good judgment by Coach Sexton and the rest of the coaching staff to keep those younger players that's on the third team out of there as long as Holt's in the game.
Receivers left and right. Split backs behind quarterback Gibson. He'll hand it off on the right side. Cutting back, finding some running room, bursting outside. The sideline spins, comes back in, and about a 12-yard carry. Got time for Jeff Poor. Poor will give Claiborne their second consecutive first down on this possession, which started at the Claiborne 23-yard line. It's now down to the Highlander 43-yard line.
At the 48-yard line, where it will be first and 10 for Claiborne.
The Highlander coaches did vacate the press box to our right. All of them are on the sideline this half. No need for the headsets. They'll save the battery pack to next week. Handoff, that's Poor looking for running room. The Highlanders surround him from each side this time. A penalty flag.
On the carry.
Well, I thought it was a flag, but the ball boy standing behind the referee back there that tossed the ball up in the air, and I mistakenly took that as a penalty flag. It was not. 2 yards on the carry for Poor. Second and 8, Claiborne. 3 minutes, 10 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. Split backs. Again, receivers split left and right. Matt Gibson, the quarterback. Long cadence. rolls to the right side. Here comes the pressure. The ball outside, caught by Holt. Holt falls forward down to about the 30-yard line, and it will be another first down for Claiborne.
Andy Bell sure had to get prepared for that when he saw Bell make that reception. Or not Bell, but Holt. Because I guess there was about 100 pounds difference between the two.
Yeah. Andy's a tough guy. I watch him out here in practice a lot. He's not afraid to stick you. That's what we like about these young men. I'll tell you another guy, number 22, Fred Henry. Down the right cornerback for the Highlanders. I like that young man. Not particularly big, not particularly gifted, but he's not afraid to play football. The snap, a little inside reverse. Looking for running room. Caught by the shirt tail and drug down. Making the tackle, I think Seth Yancey, number 62, makes the tackle.
Good job.
Look for a loss of about 6-7 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, had he not been able to get that shirt tail with his right hand, that play might have gained a good chunk of yardage.
Claiborne to the line. They'll send 2 receivers to the right side. They'll put their tight end on the left side. They'll hand it to Holt. Holt looking for running room. Caught from behind. Drugged down as he gets inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. I believe Seth Yancey from the linebacking position makes another tackle.
A gain of 2 on the play. It will be
so you can see for the Howlers in this defense, like Seth Yancey is normally on the first defensive unit, so the coach is sprinkling some of the starters in this front. 3rd down now and about 8 to go for Claiborne. 70 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Gibson steps under center, looks to pass the ball. Here comes the pressure, pumps it again, boom. Here comes the rush from the outside. And getting in there with the tackle, I believe that was Andy Bell, wasn't it, No, it's Josh Jeffers. Coming from the left defensive end, makes a big play, sacks Gibson. A loss of 7, maybe 8 again. It's 4th and 16 to go for Claiborne. And this young unit making a stand here on defense.
How much time did they have on the clock when this quarter started? I didn't catch it.
When this possession started?
No, when the quarter started. Seemed like it's been a fast one.
Well, no, it was it's full quarter. It was 5:49 when this possession started for Claiborne, though. So they've taken almost 6 minutes on this drive here. Gibson looking left for a screen pass, finally dumps it to the intended receiver, eludes a Highlander defender, spins, goes up the sideline. Cody Frog comes over and makes the tackle out of bounds.
Gibson's pass complete to
It's going to pick up in the neighborhood of 22, 24 yards on the carry. It didn't set up the first time when Gibson wanted to toss it over there to Poor. It just didn't set up there. The Highlanders had it read well, but Gibson maintained his composure and looked back and found it open the second time.
But that was a good executed play by Claiborne County. The Highlanders, I may have had just a slight break on defense, but anyway.
1st and 10 from the Highlander 15. Looking for a fade pattern in the end zone. Pass is going to be caught.
Yep. Good catch.
A 15-yard touchdown pass to Brent Stone, and Claiborne on the board here with no time left in the 3rd period.
Like I say, Rick, I think the play started with less than 3 seconds on the clock. They pretty much threw it wasn't exactly a fade, it was sort of an in route from the flag. Threw the ball up there, and that was just a good catch. Here comes the hash mark huddle. Everybody runs to the center. The ball's going to be snapped, and
it's a fake. Rolling out with the ball, it's going to be thrown into the end zone. The Highlanders are going to knock the ball down, so the play is no good. And at the end of the 3rd period of play, it will be our Highlanders leading the Claiborne Bulldogs, the visitors tonight, by a 49-6 score. And when we come back, we get ready for the 4th and final period of play from Highlander Field. Again, our score, Highlanders 49, Claiborne Bulldogs 6.
At Roark's Pharmacy, our people in our service set us.
The Highlanders headed for their 2nd win of the season. The record after this game will be 2 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss to Lenore City last week. And in the region, the Highlanders will be 0-1, headed to Kingston. Take on the Yellow Jackets next week. At halftime, we heard Kingston trailing Rockwood 20-7. A battle down there in Roane County going on tonight. Holt to kick off. Sells it deep. Smith pulls it in at his 15. Looking for the wedge in front. Wesley has some running room. Breaks outside. Caught by the ankles and drugged down as he gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
The 38-yard line, where he is stopped by
Gary We'll give him the 38. That's where the Highlanders will start this possession.
First down and 10 to go.
That return really looked good, Rick. He had the wedge right in front of him. Looked like he had it pretty much up the middle. He saw something. He veered just slightly to the right. A couple of the Claiborne County players recovered and made the stop there, but that is still a good return.
We're just underway in the 4th period. It will be Highlander football. We see some different bodies up front on the line for the Highlanders. And a new quarterback. Derek Boshears practiced a lot this week at the quarterback position for the Highlanders. And we've got whistles on the field. It looks like Claiborne County takes a timeout. Let's look ahead at the Highlander schedule. That would be something good for me to do. And while I'm looking for their schedule, let me remind you, you're listening to Highlander football tonight on WBNT FM. And in 2 weeks from tonight, the Highlanders will be back here at Highlander Field for Homecoming 2003 as we'll take on the Campbell County Cougars 2 weeks from tonight. First down, the Highlanders, Derek Boshears. Under center for the Highlanders. Hands it off, running room outside. That's Henry. Henry breaks into the secondary. Has 8, maybe 9 yards on the carry.
Should be 9.
It will be second and about 1 or less yards to go, like 1 foot to go for the Highlanders. Let's try to set some other folks for you.
Fresh players from Claiborne, I believe, down there, Rick.
The Highlanders will split wide to the left side. That's Hunter West. He's number 10 coming to the right short side of the field. Again, I don't have that name to go along with the number. We apologize for that. It's number 20. No, it's 25. I'll check again. Fred Henry, running room outside. Has a first down and more. Powers over a defender. Pulls a defender along with him into Claiborne territory inside the 40 to the 39, maybe the 38-yard line.
Good hard-nosed running right there. Had a good hold, got outside into some open space. When the secondary caught up with him, he drug 1 or 2 and smacked heads with a couple more.
First down for the Highlanders on the carry by Fred Henry. That was Nicholas Sharp, number 25, on the field as 1 wide receiver. Splitting wide left this time is number 7. That's Blake Lau. This is Sharp coming back as the receiver on the right side. There are 2 backs lined up in the backfield. I think one is Fred Henry. And they give it to Henry again, left side, running room 4, maybe 5 yards.
Fred is really good, Rick. He's not really large. I mean, physically, he's not a large running back. And when he gets into that heavy traffic, he sort of ducks and dodges, and all of a sudden, he's 5 yards downfield.
The other back on the field for the Highlanders, that was number 33, Jacob Kimbrell. As I can, I'll try to set the lineman for you. It's second down, 5 Highlanders. This time, splitting to the right side is number 3, Dylan Stonecipher. Again, back split behind Boshears, the quarterback. Tight end right side. They'll give it on the carry. Looking for running room, breaking a tackle. Now Bulldog down on the carry to about the 26-yard line. For the Highlanders on the carry, Nick Stringfield. That's number 21, Nick Stringfield. Up front for the Highlanders, the right tackle is number 68, Matt Gregory. It looks like the Highlanders take a timeout. For the timeout on the field, the scoreboard says 9 minutes remaining in this football contest. Your Highlanders 49, Claiborne High School 6. We'll take a break with the teams and be back with more football after a message from one of tonight's Friday night sponsors.
Only only a healthy pet is a happy companion. Assuring your pet's daily well-being requires regular care and close attention to any hint of illness. Highland Veterinary Hospital is a full-service facility providing care for all animals, large and small. Dr. Elizabeth K. Burris and her caring staff take the time to make you and your pets more comfortable. In-house x-ray and lab equipment provide quicker diagnoses. In addition to healthcare services, grooming appointments are available. Highland Veterinary Hospital, across from First National Bank, Oneida.
Edgewood Homes of Oneida has East Tennessee's largest selection of homes like Mansion Homes, Champion, Homes of Legend, Giles, Chandelure, Clayton, and Fleetwood Homes, offering 30-year financing with rates as low as 5.75%, land home packages, and installing your septic, electric, water, and driveway, even your porches and decks. Edgewood Homes of Oneida is proud to announce that we've received the prestigious Customer Satisfaction Award, so you know you'll get great customer service. Come by today and let one of our sales associates show you your new home, or call us at 569-9595. At Edgewood Homes, we make it easy for you.
We definitely want to compliment the crowd at Highlander Field tonight. There was a huge crowd last week, and the crowd was very, very good here again tonight. Some of it thinned out a little bit as the Highlanders probably put this contest certainly out of reach in the first half, but the fans enjoyed the matchup tonight.
Sure, like this kind of football.
Two receivers split wide left for the Highlanders. Again, Derek Foshier is the quarterback.
Oops.
Out of sync. Penalty flags will fly.
Is that a do-over?
The carry was going to be by Nick Stringfield. So it will be do-over after costing the Highlanders 5 yards.
It'll be a false start against your Highlanders.
Yeah, it looks like.
Now, Derek took most of the snaps this week in practice, but remember, he was taking those with the first unit. So this is the second unit, but we've got another quarterback on the field now. For the Highlanders, I believe that's number 7, Blake Lau, and he is a true freshman. All 90 pounds of Blake out there. He's got a receiver left and right, 2 running backs in the backfield behind him. And
that's either the tackle or guard keeps sort of shifting.
Another 5-yard mark off against the Highlanders.
On the play.
Down is still first, but it's now 1st and 20.
It will bring up first down and Swansea.
8 minutes, 54 seconds remaining.
From the 36.
In this football matchup between our Highlanders and the Claiborne Bulldogs. The Highlander line sprints to the ball. Lau comes up under center with 2 backs lined up behind him. The snap, somebody may have moved again. The handoff, breaking a tackle. That was Stringfield looking for running room, has 10 yards, maybe 11 or 12 yards as Nick Stringfield. Good carry,
good piece of running.
Tackle behind the line of scrimmage to pick up the positive yards.
It will bring up second down and 10.
The Highlanders actually shuttling the plays in with their quarterbacks now. Under center, I believe, is number, I don't have the number. I'm not sure what the number is. I'll find out here. Second down and 10. Little delay handoff. Looking for running room. That Stringfield again picks up 10 yards on, maybe 5 yards on the carry. And again, I just don't have the number. It's just number 20.
Shot by Patrick Walters.
Can you look at Tim's list over here and see if he's got that?
I'll do that.
7. It will be third down and 4.
Running the play in this time at quarterback will be Lau again. He'll push the receiver out on the left and on the right side. He'll have 2 backs in the backfield. They'll put the tight end on the right side. Lau with the snap, hands it off at Stringfield again. Juke the defender, running over 2 or 3 defenders, takes it inside the 20 near the 17.5-yard line.
Stringfield on the carry.
That's getting close to a first down. I think he's about a yard and a half short, and that will bring up 4th down. And the Highlanders obviously are not going to kick. They're just going to go for it here. 4th and really less than, I'm going to say 2 yards to go for the Highlanders.
Tim's reading off the same roster we are, Rick.
Okay.
So
we don't know who number 20 is, but he's a quarterback on the field for the Highlanders, trying to pick up a first down. The snap, keeping it himself, running to the outside.
Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up.
For the first down, does cut up, and depending upon the spot, but I think he picks up the first for the Highlanders.
Got the first.
It will be 1st and 10 Highlanders. The clock will continue to run after they spot the change here. 6 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the game. The Highlanders, very comfortable lead. It's actually 43 points. That's pretty comfortable. 49-6 our score. Highlanders over Claiborne County. The first year actually for Claiborne High School. It's sort of a combination, but it's a new school in New Tazewell. Used to be Claiborne County High School. They just renamed it. Loud in the handoff at Stringfield again, breaking a tackle, breaking a second tackle, running for the end zone. Looks like Nick Stringfield is in from about 14 yards out.
And even with the second group in there, Rick, that play started off heading off tackle. He bounced out a little bit, wasn't the best hole there, but he broke a tackle near the line of scrimmage and made a dash, broke through an arm tackle, and then sort of drug another defender into the end zone with him. Got that 6 points for the Highlanders.
The Highlanders will go for 2 as, you know, they pretty well retired the starters and the kickers there. This time it will be Lau in, Blake Lau in at quarterback. He'll have a receiver split left and right. 2 backs behind him. Stringfield's one of the backs in the backfield, trying for the 2-point conversion. The snap, Lau tried to hand it off, and it's a fumble. So the 2-point try is no good. 6:19 left in the game, and your Highlanders now have forged out on top by 55-6 lead over Claiborne. We'll take another break, and for our sponsors along the way, thank you. After this message, we'll be back with more football action.
Your favorite food, cooked to order, just the way you like it, when you want it. At Huddle House, you can have any meal, anytime, 24 hours a day. From big house platters, big meals for big appetites, to Lighthouse grilled chicken and chef salads, to delicious signature chicken tender sandwiches. Huddle House in Oneida is a place where hungry folks gather to enjoy good food, good friends, great hospitality. Before or after the game, huddle up at Huddle House in Oneida. Through the years, Scott County and First Trust and Savings Bank have seen many changes. Back in 1923, when First Trust was incorporated, times were different, life a lot slower. Today, First Trust has grown to keep up with the pace of life, expanding its Municipal Drive location to better serve its customers, including adding more drive-through lanes for faster service. Banking hours to fit your lifestyle. Full-service banking at Walmart Supercenters in Jacksboro and Oneida. Loans, commercial and residential. 24-hour banking online.
Come to First Trust. You'll like banking with us.
Charged by the referee.
Just about the time that we were getting ready to come back, the officials charge a timeout to the Highlanders. And of course, what's going on, the Highlanders, you know, anybody that was on the first team or a significant contributor has pretty well got the rest of the night off. And so they were really trying on the fly to get a younger group like freshmen and sophomores, JV players, on the field for the kick team. I'm not even sure that they have practiced somebody who can kick off.
Was that
it looks
Fred
like
going to kick?
Fred, our man Fred Henry, is going to be kicking off here.
You know, Fred is a player that is going to do everything for you, and he's going to do it remarkably well. Left-footed.
Fred to kick off, and he just pooches it. Looks like an onside kick.
Got
the
it.
Highlanders have corner recovered. Not intended to be an onside kick, but Fred kicks it, squibs it off his left foot. Coach Gary Sexton smiles because it's not playing, but it is a Highlander possession now.
The kick is recovered by Blake Lau.
And I can't help but to think
first down and 10 for your
that the
Highlanders.
Claiborne folks think that the Highlanders are piling it on. Let me assure
From
you,
the Claiborne 48-yard line.
let me assure you that that was solely, wholly unintentional.
Yeah, I mean, it just somebody that doesn't kick, and he sort of squibs a little one over there, and their front line was backing up to prepare to block, and you'll have to say the breaks have went the Highlander way tonight.
Indeed. The only thing that hadn't gone the Highlander way has been penalties. I don't recall Claiborne getting a penalty, and the Highlanders probably have 30, 40 yards in penalty yardage. Quarterback sneak straight ahead. The line driving, and Wherever the ball is at in the pile, it's a positive gain of
it sure would have been nice
6 yards.
If
second and 4.
The Highlanders could have taken about half of these breaks they've got tonight and pickled them for a week.
Oh, we've got more in our hip pocket. We got more for next week and the following week and the week after that. Trust me, H.
Hey, you know, I think this team is capable of taking on the Kingstons and the Anderson counties this year.
Again, the sneak. This is by Blake Lau. Lau across the Claiborne 40 to probably about the 40.
Backed it up a heap.
It's at the 39.5. It will be second and a short 3 or a long 2, however you prefer it. It keeps the clock running, however. 4.5 minutes plus remaining in the final period of play. 55-6 our score. Highlanders over the Claiborne Bulldogs. Receivers left and right. Quarterback under center. We'll try to find out who that is at some point in time. Handoff, have trouble with the exchange. Having to keep it himself, looking for running room outside. Breaks the tackle, diving forward inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. You said it, another first down for the Highlanders.
And, you know, that play did not look good from the get-go, but just a few red shirts happened to get out there with a ball carrier and made some, if nothing else, screening blocks, and he was able to get on up the sideline, and there's our big quarterback in there counting, and we're short somebody, Coach. Did you count yourself, young man?
In the second half, the Highlanders, this is actually their third possession. The first two picked up touchdowns. Wesley Smith had one, and the last touchdown by Nick Stringfield. So the Highlanders, this group, second or third unit, though it may be, working hard to get the ball to hand off to Stringfield, fighting, and gets down near the 25-yard line.
Stringfield on the carry.
The defender for Claiborne County, we noticed, really wallowed our quarterback on the ground that time.
It will bring up second down and 6.
Beautiful evening. Maybe a little hot, maybe a little humid at kickoff time, but a beautiful Friday night football evening. Tight end left, split backs, the snap. Little delayed draw, bouncing outside, looking for running room, headed to the far corner.
Get the block.
One man to beat, pulls him along in the Highlanders. Good running room that time as Jacob Kimbrell, number 33 on the carry. Has a first down for the Highlanders, make it first and go with the ball at about the 7-yard line. Maybe the 6.
Look going in. Blake's back in the game, and if the Highlanders are going to go in again, I'd kind of like to see him toting it.
First down, Highlanders. Clock will run, 2:20. Lau goes under center. Long cadence this time. Lau with the snap, gives it to the second back through. That looks like Stringfield breaks off the left side. And looks like he's taken down about the 3-yard line maybe. Stringfield with good second effort that time, however. Good second effort. He could have, you know, just let the tackler take him down there at on the carry, but did not. The ball at about the 4-yard line. Second down, Highlanders, second and goal. Receiver split each side, split backs. Handoff, second back through again this time is going to be wrapped up. Is there a fumble on the field? Yes, there is.
Yes.
A fumble, and it goes over to Claiborne
County.
The ball ripped out.
It is recovered by Claiborne.
Claiborne starting from about their own
and 10 to go
4-yard line.
From the 4-yard line.
Minute 15 left in this football game. If you just joined in, it's been a heck of a game for our Highlanders, leading 55-6.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind you that
lot of good things we saw from the Highlanders here tonight. Timeout. Highlanders.
The Highlanders take a timeout. Well, let's see right
It's all
here.
three.
Yeah, we'll take a timeout with them. 65 seconds left to go in the game. 55-6. The Highlanders with a very, very, very comfortable lead, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Since opening their doors back in 1966, Danny's Drug's first priority has been their customers' well-being, taking the time to advise customers on the proper use of prescription and over-the-counter medications, offering convenient drive-through prescription services to keep you out of the weather, especially when you're feeling under the weather. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1. Reputable, friendly, and courteous service for over 32 years. Danny's Drugs, Main Street, Oneida.
Is this what it felt like in your house this past winter? If so, there's a way you can stop feeding the meter and start saving money. It's TVA's Energy Right program, full of great ways to make your home more energy efficient and your bills more affordable all year long. So ask your local electric company for the free do-it-yourself Energy Right home evaluation. Stop feeding the meter and start saving money every month.
Plateau Electric Cooperative, 569-8591.
As we come back to live action, 65 seconds left, and Claiborne within the shadow of their own goal line. The Highlanders trying to hold them here and really run out the clock on this game. Highlanders lead 55-6. Looks like a second or third unit on the field for Claiborne County. The Highlanders make the tackle across the way after a gain of 3 or 4 yards. Next up on the Highlanders schedule, we travel on the road for the first time. Next week, 1 week from tonight, that's going to be September 19th. The Highlanders will travel to Kingston to take on the Yellow Jackets. That will be a regional game there, a regional game. Last we heard, Kingston was trailing Rockwood, and the Highlanders are winning tonight. Another play to the left side, held for a short gain as the ball is at about the 8-yard line, 7.5 to 8-yard line. The clock will run, and we're down to 25 seconds. So we're probably on third down. May very well be the final play tonight, a game that the Highlanders, they didn't get off to an auspicious start on their first offensive possession, 3 downs and punting. But then after that, the defense set the tone, and the Highlanders done everything else.
Did it. Everybody contributed tonight, too.
The tackle across the 10 at the 12-yard line by the Highlanders, and 0-0 shows on the scoreboard. So we've reached the end of this non-regional matchup between the visiting Claiborne High School and our own Scott Highlanders. And the Highlanders come